So everybody, we're going to be going to now talk about a topic that I've actually been wanting to touch into the diecast review now, which is what happened on Monday, which the Daytona 500 happened, and it was really not a pretty ending for sure. It was a really ugly one. Um, I'm going to talk about Ryan Newman, and Ryan Newman right now, if you guys actually hear the best news that had happened to him, he got out of the hospital. What happened to him on Monday at the coming to the checkered flag in the Daytona 500? Ryan Newman had a very scary crash. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through what happened and just kind of just share you basically my thoughts, my opinion. So what happened to Ryan Newman on the last lap? He actually was leading, and he got the lead down the backstretch, passing Denny Hamlin, which Hamlin was just all by his lonesome. Kind of out there. And Ryan Newman and Ryan Blaney actually were pushing one another. Blaney pushed Newman in the lead, and then Newman got out into the lead. He actually got out there basically by several car lengths. Hamlin actually had Blaney, back up into him, which Blaney was pushed by Hamlin going through 3 and 4. Blaney was looking high and then looked low off out of 4 on the short chute, and then Ryan Newman unfortunately had a bad bump by Ryan Blaney, which I think Blaney was trying to make a move. I do feel like Ryan Blaney's move was, I think in my mind, he was trying to go high on Newman to make a move around the outside and get him at the line, in which I guess, unfortunately, did not go the way that Blaney really hoped. He bumped Newman by accident, and in which Blaney actually had his car slowed down from that bump. That bump slowed him down. Hamlin got to Blaney and actually beat Blaney by several of a hundredths of a second. Another close finish, which was the second closest finish in NASCAR, Daytona and Daytona 500. Ryan Newman, unfortunately, with that bad bump, blew upside down. Actually, the car hit the wall very hard on the driver's side, and it blew over, just blatantly blew over. And then Ryan Newman slid down the front stretch for a split second, and until Corey LaJoie hits him with the driver's door. Not necessarily the side. Well, I guess the side, yes. And as well as the door. Newman flew up in the air, probably I think about 10 to 12 feet up in the air. That was absolutely just quite frightening, to me. Ryan Newman's crash, I do feel like car-wise, the car probably was up in the air as high as that door right there. Maybe if not, but that crease right there, that little line right there, maybe as high as that. That's how high Ryan Newman was. So that is very frightening. And Ryan Newman absolutely had a wild ride. Landed on his side. Well, landed upside down. I was just kind of, for example, what that this is. So Ryan Newman kind of landed he actually landed this. And he slid down the tri-oval end of the short chute at the beginning of the road course portion. And he stopped there, and he was on fire. The fuel was actually just... the fuel actually was going out. It actually was emptying out of the back of the race car. Luckily enough, it did not really ignite and explode on Ryan Newman, which that would have been worst case scenarios. But the safety crew guys, the AMR team got there and helped the Newman out of the car. Newman, unfortunately, could not get out really on his own power. They had to help him out, actually. Had to cut the roof open. People saying that they didn't cut the roof open, but I think they did, because I was actually, I think I did see him actually cut the roof, well, on a little photo of that. But Ryan Newman was taken to the Halifax Medical Center, and doctors actually said to Newman that they're not, a statement. I shouldn't say doctors basically gave that up, but a statement actually from Roush Fenway saying Newman has non-life-threatening injuries, and it is a very serious condition. Not critical, because critical is a little bit different. Critical is actually to where he or she could die, but a serious condition is just, they're not going to die. Most likely, they're not going to die. So Ryan Newman, luckily enough, had a serious condition. And, man, just as you know it, Ryan Newman legitimately just, I do believe 2 days after that race and that wreck that Newman had, Ryan Newman today was released out from the hospital, and thank goodness, holy crap! I think Ryan Newman right now might be the toughest man on the planet Earth right now, because he got out from a what could have been a death crash in NASCAR. Well, and I don't think really it would have been death, but it would have been near death. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to definitely tell you that. I thought to me it was a near death one, and I thought the Newman's career was over with, and such like that. I thought it was actually Newman was dead. I actually watched it live, and that was probably the scariest and frightening thing, the most frightening crash, and probably the scariest crash I've ever seen in NASCAR history for myself. Like for all the races I've watched, all the Daytona Talladega races, all of NASCAR, what I've watched over the years of my life, I've never seen a crash like that before, ever. It's such a hard hit like that ever. I've seen blowovers, I've seen flips. I mean, Newman's was probably the worst. I mean, especially this one. Ryan Newman to me, um, he's a really, I mean, he's not necessarily like a champion, driver, championship driver really anymore, but used to be. But Ryan Newman, I do believe, to me, he could potentially win a championship. He does have the potential. He does have the fire to go out and win races. And, with this car, with the team, Roush hasn't really been that strong, over the last several years since, drivers, and sponsors and such like that. A lot of the funding has left Roush, and unfortunately, that's just what it is. But, I think Ryan Newman is the leader of that team, and I feel like Ryan Newman's going to bounce back. When he comes back in that race car, he's going to bounce back for a win. And I actually can really feel that Ryan Newman's going to probably get a win in that car. Not only a win, but getting the playoffs once again. And yeah, that's basically what I feel about Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman to me, like, I feel like he's going to bounce back. He's not going to get in. He's not going to get in the car this coming up week at Las Vegas, but he will come back sometime soon. He's going to be having a lot of full recovery. Going to be going over through rehab and such like that. In my mind, that incident at Daytona, that was really a racing incident. That was an incident there that Ryan Blaney, it was not really 100% of his fault. Really, I don't think it really was. It was just hard racing, and I mean, I feel like Newman kind of, I don't know what really, I mean, I don't want to say this in the wrong terms, but it wasn't really a block. It was just it was probably intended to be a block. But like Newman, what he was trying to do was protect the inside away from Blaney. Blaney tried moving to the top side. I think in my intentions, in my mind, I think his intention was going to move to the top side of the racetrack. Newman just got a bad bump, and that's what happened. Man, my God, Ryan Newman is probably the toughest man I've I've seen in my life right now. I know there's tougher men in the world, but Ryan Newman is definitely, probably, no doubtably, right now the toughest out of every single one of them. And NASCAR definitely, I mean, came together on this, and thank goodness they did. I mean, everybody is very concerned, and everybody on social media is too, and every single NASCAR fan and driver alike are very concerned about Ryan Newman, at that time. But now Ryan Newman is just fully freaking. He's walking on his own 2 feet out of the hospital with his two girls, 2 daughters. I mean, that's freaking crazy. I mean, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. My mom actually sent me a text about that, and it was really cool. Ryan Newman, there was a picture of, his 2 daughters, and man, I cannot believe it that they walked out of the hospital together. It was super freaking cool. They were clear, but he was released. That's awesome. Yeah, and Ryan Newman to me, I know he does not have a championship. I feel like if Ryan Newman really wins races and and stays consistent enough to where he's in the championship position type driver right now. Like, if he does that, man, it's gonna be good for Ryan Newman's resume. He's got a 2002 Rookie of the Year. He's got a 2002 Rookie of the Year, as well as a 2003. Also 2003 season, 8 wins in 2003 with 11 poles in that year. 18 wins overall with a 2008 Daytona 500 championship trophy and a 2013 Brickyard 400 win in his resume. That's actually really good. That's Hall of Fame stuff right there for Ryan Newman. Over the last several years, Ryan Newman hasn't been strong with the equipment that he's been given, from RCR. He moved over into Roush in 2019. at the end of the 2018 season. Newman went over to Roush in 2019, and Newman actually made the playoffs, but unfortunately with the little mistake at the Roval race, yeah, that's what all costed them. But overall, for Ryan Newman, I feel like when he comes back, he's going to be really, really strong, and he's going to be really, really, I think a strong driver racing for a championship. I maybe a championship, but playoffs for sure he will be. I want to see him win one more race before he goes in. I want to see him win a race. Goodness gracious, he has not won since 2017 at Phoenix. He needs to get a win here with this equipment. I mean, he's got actually a little bit more better equipment than he actually had. In my mind, I think in my opinion, Roush, remember what Roush has done in 2005. That was incredible with 5 cars. I mean, it had Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, Craig Biffle, Mark Martin, and Jeff Burton actually. Well, hold on. So Mark Martin, Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch, and Carl Edwards. Not Jeff Burton. Jeff Burton moved to the 31. And in my mind, like, that 2005 season with Roush was probably the best. I mean, those guys freaking tore it up out there. I swear my life on that. But it just kind of over the years, I mean, unfortunately with that, the 4-car rule kind of duped them from having their the equipment they needed and such like that, and had to get rid of basically somebody. But yeah, wow. They had to get rid of Jamie McMurray at the end of the 2009 season after just had to get a win. But overall about Ryan Newman, I feel like everything is okay. NASCAR is going to probably need to get a wake-up call here. I mean, this is definitely a wake-up call for NASCAR to try to basically fix something of their product, or just fix something in their rules. Well, it's both product, but maybe drivers too. They might want to fix up a little bit of their stuff. It definitely needs a cultural change. But overall, Ryan Newman is awesome. He's tough. He's a warrior, man. I'm gonna call him a warrior basically for about maybe just several weeks. I'm gonna say that right there. But we'll see a backup. We'll see a replacement driver basically for Las Vegas. We don't know who yet. So I hope it's basically some of the guys like me. I hope it's probably one of the guys maybe Greg Biffle or Carl Edwards or somebody. And that's it, guys, for watching. If you guys don't want to hear the whole thing about Ryan Newman, I'm totally fine about that. It may be a little bit cringe to you guys hearing it very, very long like this, but to me, Ryan Newman is going to be bouncing back soon, and he may get a win. I'm going to say that right there. It may not happen, but I got faith in Ryan Newman. I still got faith in Ryan Newman. I hope you guys have some faith in him too. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys don't want to hear the whole thing about Ryan Newman, that's okay. You guys can see for yourself. You can see it on David Land's channel about what happened. And thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I do want to hear you guys' thoughts. I do want to see you guys' thoughts. I'm not going to be hearing them, but see them. I want to see you guys' thoughts in the comments below about Ryan Newman and maybe this diecast review about what you guys thought. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And keep on fighting a good fight out there, especially like Ryan Newman. Because God's got a plan in you guys' lives, and He sure got a plan in my life. So, signing out.